It's October. That means Halloween. And scary stuff. So we're talking about spooky movies I grew up with that basically ruined my childhood. I wouldn't say it's one of the most spookiest videos. These movies were probably the things that most impacted my childhood and made me who I am today. A little bitch. Before we get started with these movies, we're going to talk about things I did as a child that were really stupid. Like, these are things that children should not do, or I feel like children shouldn't do. And we're just going to talk about that. And this segment is called Things I Did as a Child Because I Was a Little Bitch. So number one on this list is probably one of the dumber things that I do. It is every time that I go into a bathroom, anyone's bathroom at all, any bathroom, and those curtains are closed, I'm opening those curtains. I do not trust what is behind the bathroom curtains. I feel like someone's going to be behind there, and I can't go to the bathroom if those curtains are closed. So I'm going into the bathroom and I'm opening those curtains every time. For the longest time, before I have no idea what age, I slept with covers over my head because I was scared of creatures that would come into my room and lurk within the shadows waiting for me to fall asleep. My one barrier of safety was a blanket. This blanket, any blanket, I would put over my head, and I would probably just die because it would get super warm, but that didn't matter. It was worth it. As long as the monsters could not get me, I would stay under that blanket. Number 3. This one makes a little more sense, and it would be every time I would go into a bathroom, again, bathrooms, you'll understand why I have problems with bathrooms in a second, but every time I would walk into a bathroom, I would go up to the mirror, and if this mirror opened, I would not open it. Because if you've seen any movie where there's an opening mirror cabinet and someone opens it and closes it, there's going to be someone behind them, and I refuse to let that happen to me. So I do not open them. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, that is not my fault that you were poor and didn't grow up with an open cabinet mirror. This one is probably the weirdest. Probably the one that makes no sense. I mean, parts of it make sense, but some of it doesn't. It's that I refuse to sleep with my arms and legs on the edge of a bed or hanging off the edge of a bed because I was afraid skeletons would get me. I don't know why skeletons, but of all the horrible creatures I've seen in movies, Skeletons stuck with me. So I refused to sleep on the edge of any bed. I would have my bed against the wall and sleep facing the corner of that. That way, no skeletons could get me. So now we're going to get into the topic of movies. And some of these movies you're like, yeah, you should never show these to a young, impressionable 5 to 8 year old. And then there are some movies where you're like, okay, Josh, what's wrong with you? And how are you able to be a semi-functional adult? Hardly semi-functional. But again, you'll be surprised. So let's get to the first movie. And so this first movie is Psycho. I'm pretty sure most people who watch this know what Psycho is. It's a classic. And the scene in particular I am talking about is the scene where the woman gets killed in the shower. This movie messed me up when it came to taking showers when I was young, because I would no longer take a shower with the shower curtain closed because there could be someone behind that shower curtain ready to kill me. So I refused to take showers with shower curtains, and the floor would be just covered in water. But it didn't matter to me because at least I knew no one was going to pull that curtain back and continuously stab me. So that is why Psycho has affected me in a terrible way growing up, because it has ruined showers for me. I don't get to come home and enjoy a nice little shower. I have to be worried because someone could kill me. I might die taking a shower, and I refuse to let that happen. Yeah, so The Thing was another movie I watched growing up. I think whoever's seen The Thing can understand why, but I'll just flash a couple scenes from the movie. Like this one, God, that's disgusting. Look at, oh my God, that's just not right. The one where they're testing out the blood, and everyone's like, okay, fire kills the thing, right? So let's test all our blood. And the one guy turns into some disgusting monster and eats the other guy. It's just the worst. Now we're on the topic of Alien. And the reason why this movie scared me is not the reason why you'd think. You'd think a scene where a fucking creature is bursting out of a man's chest would stick with you when you're a young child. Nope, that's not the scene that's got me. The scene that got me is the scene where there's an alien coming up behind a dude, and he's like, "Whoa, it's dark in here. I'm pretty scared." And he looks down, something's dripping down. He turns around, and then the alien gets him. That's what stuck with me. That's what really haunted me my childhood. I think what scared me the most about it is that creature's so big that it's easily able to sneak up on you, and the last things you see is something dripping behind you coming from above, and you slowly turn around, just see a giant creature jumping on top of you and you die. That's not how I wanted to go. So Alien basically ruined any time like I see something dripping, like some water dripping from the ceiling. I just think this is it. This is where I die. So yeah, that's thanks Alien. That's something that I have to enjoy. Now we are getting to a movie that I thoroughly enjoy. A movie I like, but I did not like growing up. That movie is Terminator 2. Now, you're probably thinking, okay, well, Terminator 2, I guess that's a little scary. But why would a little child be scared of this? Well, I'll tell you why a little child would be scared of this movie. It's talking about the apocalypse, something that my little child brain couldn't fathom, the end of the world. I shouldn't have to worry about the end of the world by robot nuclear apocalypse. The whole idea of a Terminator, those robot dudes, very scary. I did not like the Terminators. This whole design scared me. Why do they have teeth if they're just robots and they don't eat? Why do they have? Why? Why do they have that? But there's one scene in particular from Terminator 2 that just really, really icing on the cake of my childhood dread, which is the nuke scene. And anyone who's seen Terminator 2 knows what I'm talking about. It's Sarah Connor's dream where she goes and she's trying to tell everybody, hey, there's a nuke. But nobody's listening, and boom, a nuke goes off. She's just destroyed by this nuke, obliterated, just taken out, and turned into a skeleton. Just flesh ripped right off into a skeleton. And that scared the crap out of me as a child. I was like, that can happen? You can just die like that? And, you know, I didn't like it. Did not like it one bit. So that really just messed me up. This next movie, some people are not going to believe when I say this, but I guess some people will. But another movie that really scared me as a child was Jurassic Park. Let me explain to you why I didn't like Jurassic Park. So first off, we open up with this scene where a guy, they're just moving this creature that does not sound pleasant. And a guy literally just gets dragged into that cage. And they're just like, what are we going to do? This thing's a lot stronger than we are. All the constant deaths. The scene where what's-her-face is running down the corridor and she's like, oh my goodness, Samuel L. Jackson, you're here. And it's just his arm. The whole man is gone and they just ate everything but his fucking arm. It's not cool. I don't like that. It's not cool. And basically any scene with the Velociraptor I didn't like. And did I mention something about a fucking T-Rex? This thing is hardly in the movie and it's scared. It's just not cool. It was not cool. I'm okay with it now. I'm totally fine. I mean, it's an okay movie. It's not my favorite movie in the world, but I can watch it now, so it's not that big of a deal. But, you know, that doesn't mean I like it. It's okay. It's an okay movie. So this next movie was something that this creature in this movie was something that I just did not like, and it was something my brother kind of tormented me about a lot. And this is The Village by M. Night Shyamalan. A friend told me that this isn't a very good movie at all. I mean, I haven't watched it in forever, so I wouldn't be able to say whether or not it is. This movie's creature is something I did not like as a child. I did not understand what it was. I didn't understand that it was secretly just a dude. If you look at this thing was the horror of my childhood. So I really didn't appreciate it. I do not like M. Night Shyamalan's work on this creature. It's not cool. I don't like it. It's gross. That's all I have to say about it. It's just not cool. This monster is another monster that, again, really impacted my childhood. This monster is the Creeper from Jeepers Creepers 2. This one is I mean it's a pretty dumb movie concept wise, but the whole idea of it being real scared the crap out of me. Just I didn't want to live in a world where this existed. There are two things in this movie that really stuck with me. One is anything that happens with the bus, basically, and the cornfield in the very beginning. The cornfield happens at the beginning where this child's like, oh, let me go wander in a cornfield for some strange reason. I don't know why. But he's like, oh, look, there's a scarecrow. Look at this little scarecrow. And the scarecrow actually turns out to be the creeper, snatches the little kid, and flies away. And it's pretty dumb, but my child brain didn't understand that what was happening was fake. And I was like, oh my god, this is real. I don't want this to happen to me. I better stay away from cornfields. So I can't go near cornfields now. I can go to them, but doesn't mean I'm gonna like it. The second scene is anything with the bus, where they're driving, and the creeper uses some weeb shit where he uses like throwing stars to knock out the bus wheels. And then they're stranded there. Something bad happens to the creeper's head where he has to go and steal a kid's head. So he's walking on the roof of the bus and opens it and snatches a kid, and that scared the shit out of me. I was like, oh my god, I don't. And like he drops the body down, and the body flops down without a head. And you're like, where does his head go? He had a head and now it's gone. And then you like see the scene where his head's coming up. It's just a garbage movie that I did not like and I don't like. We're on our last movie, and this movie should not have scared me as a child, but now that I've it scared me. This movie scared me as a child, but that doesn't mean I don't love it now. This movie is The Mummy. I think it came out in 1999 maybe, but this movie is probably one of my more favorite movies because it has Brendan Fraser, but we're not talking about that. Get out of here, Brendan. I'm not talking about you. This movie scared me as a child mainly because of The Mummy. There are a couple things that are also in it, but mainly the whole environment of this movie, the whole vibe of this movie scared me. I looked at it as a horror movie, even though it's more of an action-adventure type movie. Specifically, anything with the mummy in it before he turns into some dude. Like the scenes where the guy loses his glasses and couldn't see, and like he runs into the mummy steals his eyes. I wear glasses, and when I don't have my glasses, I cannot see. I do not want that happening to me. And then also the scenes where the mummy turns anyone into a husk of a person. I didn't like that because I didn't want to be a husk of a person, and that scared me. This movie's great. Scared me as a child. The scarabs and going through their hands and like crawl up their face. That's pretty spooky. I didn't like that. Also, fuck Jonathan in that one scene where he spooks you for no reason with a fake mummy. Fuck that. Now that I've shown you all these movies that scared me, and all the things I did as a child that I was scared of, that scare me. I mean, I still do the curtain one now because I still don't trust what is behind that curtain. But I think it really shows how much of a big child I was of scared of the world. And, I think it makes me more of a human person, Makes me more relatable. Or I'm just weird. It's probably that one. I don't know how to end videos, so I'll just keep rambling and see where I go. I got these lights, that's pretty cool. Fucking ball just fell and scared the shit out of me.